Somewhere on the African savanna, a young male baboon is about to make the biggest gamble of his life. He is strong, he is fast, his canine teeth are longer than a lion's, and none of it is going to save him. Because in a baboon troop, the deadliest threat isn't the leopard hiding in the grass or the crocodile waiting at the river. It's the other baboons. Baboons run one of the most ruthless political systems in the entire animal kingdom. A world where reputations are everything, alliances shift overnight, and a single mistake can end a career in a matter of days. But the ones who actually survive it are almost never the strongest. They have mastered something far more dangerous than muscle. To understand baboon politics, you first have to understand that a baboon troop runs on two completely different sets of rules, one for the females and one for the males, and they could not be more opposite. A single troop can hold anywhere from 20 to well over 100 baboons, all living packed together, all watching each other constantly. For the females, life is built on family. A female is born into her troop, and she stays there for the rest of her life. She never leaves, and her place in society is basically decided at birth, because a daughter inherits her rank directly from her mother, settling in just beneath her. If your mother is the second highest ranking female in the troop, then one day, so are you. These family lines are called matrilines, and they are stable. They are strong, and they are handed down like a family fortune. A female born near the top is groomed more, fed better, and defended by relatives who share her blood. A female born at the bottom stays near the bottom, and so do her daughters, and so do theirs. In the female world, your family name is your destiny, and crossing the wrong family is dangerous, because you are not facing one annoyed female. You are facing all of her sisters, daughters, and cousins at once. But for the males, none of that exists. Their world is pure chaos. Quick thing before we go deeper. If you are enjoying this, a like or a share makes a huge difference and helps more people find it. Now, let's talk about the males. When a male baboon reaches his teenage years, he is forced to do something terrifying. He leaves. He walks away from the only troop he has ever known, out into open country crawling with predators, and he tries to talk his way into a completely new troop full of strangers. And when he finally arrives, he starts at the absolute bottom. Everything he does from that moment on is a fight to climb. Male rank in a baboon troop is not inherited. It is taken. It is won through raw physical competition, through size, through stamina, through those enormous canine teeth, and through pure willingness to throw down when he is challenged. A young male in his prime can muscle his way up the ladder fast, bullying and battling toward the top spot. But here is the problem with living by strength alone. It does not last. A male at the peak of his power is basically a target painted on every rival's mind. There is always someone younger, someone hungrier, someone waiting for him to slow down. Prime males often hold that #1 position for only a matter of months before a fresh challenger rips it away from them. Rise fast, fall hard. So if brute force burns out that quickly, how does any male survive long enough to matter? The answer is where baboon politics gets genuinely clever. The males who last are not the ones swinging the hardest. They are the ones who figured out that in a baboon troop, relationships are power, and the currency of those relationships is grooming. When you watch baboons slowly picking through each other's fur, it looks like simple cleaning. It is so much more than that. Grooming is how baboons build trust, calm tension, and buy loyalty. Weaker baboons groom the dominant ones to stay in their good graces. Rivals groom their future allies to seal a deal. It relaxes the body, it lowers stress, and it quietly says, "I have got your back." And here is the part that stuns most people. Baboons keep score. A baboon is not just tracking its own rank, it is tracking everyone's. Careful studies of wild baboons show they carry a detailed social map inside their heads. They know who outranks who. They know which individuals are related to each other. They even know who is currently allied with who. If a lower-ranking baboon suddenly hears two others acting as though the pecking order just flipped, it reacts with alarm, because it understands exactly what that shift could mean for its own safety. This is political intelligence at a level we almost never give animals credit for. And when two baboons do come to blows, the story often does not end there. Within minutes, you will frequently see them make up, grooming or greeting each other to smooth things over. Because in a group this tight, holding a grudge against someone you have to live beside every single day is its own kind of danger. So the smartest players use all of this to build the one thing that can truly save a baboon's life: an alliance. Because alliances are not only about climbing higher, Sometimes they are about staying alive. And this is where baboon society turns genuinely dark. When a new male finally claws his way to the top of a troop, the infants can suddenly be in serious danger. A newly dominant male will sometimes target babies that are not his own, because a mother who loses her infant becomes ready to breed again much sooner. It is harsh, and it is very real. So how do mothers fight back? They build friendships. A female will form a close bond with a particular male, grooming him, staying near him, and in return that male helps guard her and her baby when danger appears. Having a trusted friend near the top of the troop can be the difference between an infant surviving or not. These bonds can last for years, and a mother tends to remember exactly who stood beside her when it counted. And all of this endless maneuvering comes at a price you can actually measure inside their bodies. Scientists have spent decades tracking stress hormones in wild baboons, and what they found is haunting. The baboons stuck at the bottom of the hierarchy, constantly harassed and shoved around, carry chronically high levels of stress. It slowly wears their bodies down over the years, but there is a twist that almost nobody expects. The most stressed males are not only the ones at the bottom, they are also the ones at the very top. Holding on to the #1 spot is so exhausting and so dangerous that the alpha's stress can spike as high as the lowest members of the troop. So who actually has the best life? Often it is the #2 males. They get many of the rewards without carrying all of the weight. Which brings us to the biggest secret of all. Surviving in a baboon troop is not really about being the most dominant. It is about being the most connected. And there is one remarkable true story that proves it. In a single wild troop that researchers followed for years, the most aggressive, most bullying males happened to die off after feeding on some contaminated meat. What they left behind was a troop with a completely different atmosphere, one that was noticeably calmer, gentler, and far more cooperative than before. Grooming went up, while everyday tension quietly dropped away. And here is the astonishing part. That peaceful culture did not disappear when those aggressive males were gone. New males kept arriving from the outside. Tough young newcomers raised in the old, brutal way, and instead of taking over and dragging everyone back down, they slowly learned to fit in. The troop's gentle culture actually reshaped them. It survived, passed along not through blood, but through behavior. A tradition of getting along, quietly taught to every stranger who walked in. Brute strength built nothing that lasted. Connection built an entire society. So think back to that young male from the very beginning, walking nervously into a troop of strangers, betting his life on a climb to the top. If he is smart, he will eventually figure out what every survivor before him has learned, that his teeth will only carry him so far, that the baboons who truly last are the ones who groom the right friends, read the room, understand their place, and build alliances that actually hold when the fighting starts. In one of the harshest political worlds on the entire planet, the ones who thrive are not the tyrants. They are the diplomats. And maybe that quietly says something about every social animal that has ever had to survive inside a crowd, including us.